actually as the woods. And we were very excited. And yeah, and then you find out like last minute that it was Blair Witch, which I'm sorry to report that movie was terrible. But anyways.
I didn't go see it, but I thought that their, obviously because I'm a wimp, but I thought that their presentation in the way that they flipped that was absolutely genius. And
Yes.
what I just love is that how creative, a movie, something that is, so-called trapped on one side of a screen for us, right? It's just always supposed to be like up here and it's supposed to be very static. The way that marketers get really creative with bringing as many elements of that movie off screen and starting to blend it into our everyday experience well before the movie hits the theater. It's like trailers aren't just the only thing that cuts it anymore. It's like it starts to grow this social fervor over the experience of the film itself.
Yes.
Well ahead of time. And I think that that's such a key thing that anybody who is listening to this show knows how much I stress, like really thinking 3 steps ahead on what your audience could possibly want, how you can give it to them well ahead of time so that you're seeding so much before you even pitch what it is that you want to sell. Because at that point, they're going to be so excited about whatever it is that they're not even going to think twice about saying yes. And I think that the movie industry is really, really good at doing that. It started out with just the idea of the teaser trailer, and then it started to go all out with guerrilla marketing and just having like staged people or planted items or found footage or auctioning off movie props or anything just all sorts of stuff that was just done very, very subtly and very well, but just well ahead of time, like well before the main event. And you should always be thinking that way. And it doesn't mean that you can't take advantage of a reactive marketing opportunity. Like if something real time happened and it totally aligns 100% with what your business is all about, then you should absolutely make a really quick marketing campaign around that. But for the most part, I think that movies just provide a really great example of how you can plan out months ahead of time, in something and really playing the long game if you can afford to invest your time and energy to do that.
Yeah. Now, see, this brings up a great question, though, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, Catherine. So that you mentioned the teaser trailer, and that gets people excited, but a lot of my fellow cinephiles I have said that these days trailers almost show too much. And so the marketing team, I mean, people are still going to go see it and they're still converted and so forth. But I think there's a lesson to be learned there because you only need to show us a certain amount. We're already hooked. Don't show us the whole thing. Now they're showing all 3 acts within the trailer.
Oh, I know.
And it's like, movie marketing team, guys and gals, we know we're going to go see this. Don't show us more than we need. We're already committed. So would you say that's part of the advice that we could take away there? Don't overplay your hand, Catherine.
Yeah, there's a really wonderful book called Captivate, and we'll link to it in the show notes. And it describes these, there are literally 6 different types of attention, and 5 types are short-term attention. And then 6th type is long-term attention. But he talks about the various ways to capture people's attention. And one of them is being mysterious. And another person who talks about this really well is, he wrote a book called The Business Romantic, and I'll also link to that in the show notes. These are 2 really, really great books that didn't get a lot of press or a lot of coverage, by the way. You're not going to see them on the best-selling